Hi guys, Ativ here, and in this video I'll be talking about the Broncos schedule, and this is our last team in the AFC West. So after this, the standings will come out, and yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into it. So this is the Broncos schedule, and yeah, let's go right to their first game. So their first game is a Monday night game, and this is a late Monday night game. I mean 7:20 Pacific time, that means 10:20 East Coast time, so that is a late game, and they're playing versus the Titans. So I'm gonna have to give the Broncos the loss here. I think that the Titans have too good of an offense to lose this one. I mean, they have Ryan Tannehill, they have AJ Brown, they have Derrick Henry, they have what's his name? They have Ryan Tannehill, AJ Brown, and Derrick Henry. Well, those are the main players, but I don't know why I was thinking of someone else, but then they have Jadeveon Clowney, of course, and Kevin Byard, who are two great defensive studs as well. So I feel like if the Titans don't win this, then they'll be off to a very bad start, and it's just one game. So I don't think that the Broncos really have too much of a chance at winning this one. In game 2, we have the Steelers versus Broncos. I have the Broncos losing this one as well. Steelers have an arguable top 5 defense in the league with Bradley Chubb and Von Miller. And although they did lose Chris Harris, I mean, their defense is still pretty good. And then on the offensive side, Big Ben's obviously coming back. And then you have Juju Smith-Schuster. And Ben Roethlisberger and Juju Smith-Schuster is a great combo. And then if James Conner can stay healthy as well, he can get over 900 yards. So, I mean, the Steelers are a pretty solid team. And, I mean, Drew Lock has a lot of potential, but just in his second game, I don't think he'll find his groove yet. And Philip Lindsay and Melvin Gordon, they're probably going to split time, so that'll be a pretty versatile running back core. And then you have Courtland Sutton, of course, and Noah Fant, who's a very young player. So Noah Fant, he can become one of the better tight ends in the league. And then Courtland Sutton obviously had a great receiving season. But, I mean, Broncos defense is good. Like, of course it's good, but I don't know if they'll be able to necessarily win versus the Titans. So, not Titans, sorry, Steelers. But in game 3, they're playing versus the Buccaneers. And I have the Broncos losing this. So that's 3 straight games with the loss. I mean, despite the chemistry not being built so far for the Buccaneers, probably. I mean, I feel like in their previous 2 games, Tom Brady, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, and Mike Evans, and Leonard Fournette. I mean, that makes for a pretty good mix. So I don't think that they'll have too much problem on that side. It's just the defensive side that I'm not 100% sure about. Like, you have Levante David and Shaquille Barrett, and I believe they might have Ndamukong Suh, but I'm not sure. They don't have a stacked defense exactly, but yeah. In game 4, the Broncos are playing at the Jets. I think that it's pretty obvious that the Broncos should be winning this one. I mean, if they don't win this one, then I think that just sets a tone for how their season is going to go. It's the Jets of all teams, so like, let's be honest here, they're not very hard to beat. Game 5, they're playing at the Patriots. Honestly, I have the Patriots winning this one. It shouldn't be too hard for the Patriots to win. I mean, the Broncos might make it competitive, but I feel like the Patriots, they won't cruise past this one, but I feel like Cam Newton will have a great season and will be a top contender for comeback player of the year. In game 6, the Broncos are playing versus the Dolphins. I have the Broncos winning this one. See, the Dolphins have Tua, but they're going to be starting Fitzpatrick, so I'm not sure who's going to be starting in this game. They, of course, did get Matt Breida, and they have Devontae Parker and Mike Gesicki, who's a GOAT in Madden. And then on the defensive side, they don't have a bad secondary at all. I mean, Akeem Talib's getting up there in age, but he's still an okay player. And then you have Xavier Howard and Byron Jones, who are 2 studs. So, you really don't have a terrible defense by any means. And you have Jerome Baker and Raekwon McMillan, who aren't great, but like, why not just include them in there, you know? In game 7, the Broncos are playing versus the Chiefs. I think that despite this being a rivalry game, I have the Chiefs sweeping every single one team in the AFC West. So yeah. In Game 8, the Broncos are playing out the Falcons, and honestly, I would not be surprised at all if the Broncos won this one. And I feel like this might make a bit of an argument in the comments if anyone wants to comment, but I would not be surprised at all if the Falcons lost this one. I'm just going to go with the Falcons winning this one for the simple fact that I think that Todd Gurley, Julio Jones, and Matt Ryan will have a great game this season, but that's a big if. So if they don't, then I feel like the Broncos should be able to cruise past the Falcons. Game 9, we have the Broncos at Raiders. I have the series splitting, so I have the Raiders winning in this one, mainly because of home field advantage, honestly. In Game 10, we have the Chargers at Broncos. I have this one splitting as well, so I have the Broncos winning this one because of home field advantage. In Game 11, we have the Broncos versus Saints. I have the Saints winning this one. I mean, the Broncos still have a lot to prove. The Saints have proved themselves already, so I feel like they should be able to win this one. In Game 12, we have the Broncos at Chiefs. I have the Chiefs sweeping everyone in the AFC West. In Game 13, we have the Broncos at Panthers, and this is another one that I'm not being very nice to the Broncos versus the NFC South, but I have the Panthers winning this one as well. Now look, I would not be surprised at all though if the Panthers lost this one. I just have them winning it for the time being, because Christian McCaffrey, Teddy Bridgewater, DJ Moore, and Robbie Anderson, that makes for a pretty good offense. And look, their defense is their main thing, so if their defense doesn't show up, then the Broncos can make this a very competitive game. And I think this will be a very competitive game regardless. I just have the Panthers taking the W. Game 14, we have the Broncos versus Bills. I think the Bills are a powerhouse. I think the Broncos will be losing this one. I mean, I say it all the time. The Bills have a great receiving core. Josh Allen has loads of potential. So does Devin Singletary. And then their secondary is arguably the best with the Chargers, despite them losing Derwin James. So the Bills are very stacked. Game 15, the Broncos are playing at the Chargers. Chargers have arguably the best secondary, like I just said, and Chargers are playing at home, so I think that the Chargers should take the W here. In Game 16, we have the Raiders at the Broncos. I have the Broncos ending it out on a good note with the win. And yeah, I have the Broncos going 4-12. So let me know if you disagree with me in the comments below. I would not be surprised if they went 6-10 at all. But yeah, that will do it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.